world finally called us love. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan face the future together, family, freedom, and forever. There are moments that shift something in the world. Not because of volume or violence, but because of stillness. A stillness so complete, it feels sacred. That was the air surrounding Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan in the weeks after their wedding. It was as though the universe had exhaled with them, finally allowing their story to unfold as it was always meant to, unhidden, uninterrupted, and unapologetically whole. Though they remained largely out of the public eye, their presence continued to ripple. Not through headlines or appearances, but through hearts. Fans no longer just speculated, they honored. In quiet libraries, in art classes, in hospital waiting rooms, Yizhan's love became a symbol, a light for those navigating their own truths in silence. But what the world didn't see was what happened behind the soft curtains of their Chengdu home. A phone call from Xiao Zhan's mother. She had known, in her bones, long before words were ever spoken. Mothers often do. But after watching the livestream, after hearing her son's voice tremble with emotion while saying his vows, she dialed his number with fingers that shook slightly. Yibo answered. And for a moment, all three simply cried. She didn't ask why. She didn't ask when. She only said, "I'm proud of how much you've protected each other." It was not an acceptance born of tolerance, but of love. Pure, maternal, unstoppable love. Yibo's mother, on the other hand, had been quieter through the years. Always supportive, but guarded. After the wedding, she mailed them a letter. Inside was a photo of young Yibo holding a paper heart he had made in kindergarten. She had written in simple black ink, "You were always meant to love with your whole heart. Don't stop now." And so, they didn't. In the mornings, they'd walk to a small cafe near the river, often unnoticed, sharing whispers and warm bread. In the afternoons, Yibo would ride his bike while Zhan sat on the back seat, laughing like they were teenagers again. In the evenings, they wrote music together, not for release, but for memory. Xiao Zhan wrote lyrics, soft and poetic, while Yibo composed melodies on the old upright piano in their living room. They wrote a song they never published. A song that, according to a close friend, was titled "The World Finally Called Us Love." It began with silence, then heartbeat, then a single line, "No more codes, no more shadows, just your name in the open." Though they tried to live simply, the world would not forget them. Brands reached out for interviews. TV shows wanted specials. But they refused them all, choosing instead to support causes that mattered to them. They made quiet donations to mental health foundations and LGBTQ+ shelters. They funded scholarships for young artists too afraid to come out. And when one of the scholarships was awarded to a transgender teen poet, she wrote back, "Your truth gave me mine." Still, they knew the silence would not last forever. And one evening in early spring, they held a private live stream, not as performers, not as icons, but as a couple. It was not advertised. It wasn't even scheduled. It just appeared. They sat on a small sofa, legs touching, barefoot, with mugs of tea in their hands. The camera was unfiltered. No stylists. No makeup. Just them. Xiao Zhan looked into the lens and said, "We never wanted to be louder than anyone. We just wanted to live. Thank you for letting us." Yibo added, "To anyone watching this and thinking, I wish I could do that, I want you to know, you can. Love is not a scandal. It's a birthright." The live stream only lasted 27 minutes, but it was enough to shake the internet once again. Not with noise, but with peace. A kind of peace the world doesn't often get to see between two men in love. Then came the question that caught everyone by surprise, "Do you want children?" Xiao Zhan smiled slowly. Yibo looked down, then back at the camera. They both nodded. "We've talked about it a lot," Yibo said. "There are children who need love more than anything. And we have more love than we know what to do with." They didn't confirm whether they'd adopt. But their intent was clear. They weren't just building a life for themselves anymore. They were building a family. Days later, tabloids swirled with rumors. Baby names, adoption centers, even dates. But the couple said nothing. Instead, they posted a photo, 2 mugs of hot milk on a windowsill, and between them, a small pair of baby socks, hand-knitted, in pastel blue. The world erupted. Not with chaos, but with joy. No official statement was released. They didn't need one. The socks said enough. In the background of that photo, fans noticed a detail that nearly broke the internet. The outline of a nursery room, freshly painted, with a mobile of stars hanging from the ceiling. It was enough. Enough to confirm what many had hoped for. Enough to remind everyone that their story was still being written. Over the next months, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan stayed out of sight. But the world no longer demanded to see them. Their presence was already felt, in lyrics, in art, in letters shared between lovers across borders. They had become something larger than themselves. Not just a couple. Not just celebrities. But symbols of what happens when two people choose truth, over and over again, even when it's hard. On their first wedding anniversary, they posted a handwritten note. This year, we planted seeds. In silence. In safety. Some of them bloomed in places we never expected. Thank you for watering them with your love. To anyone still waiting to be seen, we see you. And we're not done yet. Y and Z. No photos. No names. Just those words. That night, fans around the world lit candles. Some did it in their homes. Others gathered in parks, cafes, rooftop gardens. From Seoul to Paris, Jakarta to San Francisco, thousands participated in what they called the Yizhon Light. A quiet moment to celebrate courage, love, and the people who taught them that happy endings don't have to be fantasy. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan didn't appear. They didn't speak. But maybe they didn't need to. Because by now, the world already knew. They loved. And they were still loving. And somehow, in doing that so bravely, they gave the world permission to do the same.